filming my video of my thoughts on intervention made me think of something um, that I thought I would try to share. So, I'm I'm 34 now. When I was 25, I started therapy. But before that, before I first went to see a therapist, um, what really stands out in my memory of that time is of, of being so scared that someone would notice how how bad I felt, that someone would ask me or would bring it up somehow, and I was just, it terrified me that someone in my family would see and would ask me about it and would want me to talk about it. And so anytime that anyone else would walk into the room I was in or would be like, hey, can I talk to you about something for a second? I would just, like, I couldn't breathe until they either just would start talking about something else or just go about just whatever they were doing, because I didn't want to I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't I there was self-judgment that has been one of the hardest things for me to deal with over time, and that was a big part of that time in my life. But there was one moment, one day, just a little bit before I finally decided um, to make my first therapy appointment. Was I think I had posted like a Facebook status, I think it was, of something like, I'm not having a good day, or I'm having such a bad day, something like that. Not specific, but just something like that. And I was upstairs, and some of my family came upstairs into the room and sat next to me and said, "What's going on? We saw, your post, and we just wanted to check. We just wanted to ask, why it's a bad day." And that's what you're supposed to do. I was hiding it, trying to hide it from myself and from them, but they saw. I mean, of course they did. I'm sure I wasn't hiding it as well as I would have wanted to, but I mean, that's what the people around you are supposed to do. And even if that's not something that I would have asked for or would have been able at that point to ask for, they did what they were supposed to do. And it wasn't long after that I made my first appointment. And so I think why it still makes me cry now is not because I'm still there, but because I know because I remember what it felt like to be there, and that it was fear. Um, and so if you are in that really awful, fearful place now, the hardest thing is to let someone see that, but I, how I am, how I feel and think and process now is so much healthier, so much better, so much more manageable. I and really that being able to manage life, that part of it, whether you feel that what you're feeling is serious, or if you're judging it as not serious enough or not bad enough, you deserve to be able to manage your life and your mind. And that doesn't mean that you can control the outside circumstances, but it means that you can control how you respond to those. And that takes a long time. I still see my therapist. It used to be once a week. It's now once every 3 months for like a half-hour check-in. But it starts with knowing that it doesn't have to stay the way that it is. You don't deserve to feel depressed. You don't deserve to feel scared. You deserve to feel balance. And the thoughts that make you think that that is not possible, that is the depression. That it's not you. It's not inevitable. Depression is not inevitable. And you can rebuild from there. And anything that makes you feel like that is not true, that is your illness. And so don't take health advice from your illness. So I guess if I manage to post this, it means that I thought that the message was important enough to share, that showing this vulnerability comes from having the strength to show this emotion and experience, and hopefully hopefulness. These aren't necessarily sad tears, but honestly, even if they were, letting yourself cry without judgment is honestly one of the most freeing things that you can do. So maybe I'll try and take my own advice. Wherever you are, however you're feeling, it's not for always. If it's down, it'll go up. That's how things work. And it sometimes takes a lot of work, but being sad today does not mean that you are sad forever. I also want to say that it's okay to be scared. You don't want to let that stop you from getting what you need, but it's okay to be scared. You can't, you should feel what you feel, and if what you feel is afraid, that's what you feel, then that is an emotion to deal with. Because if you're not letting yourself feel something, you can't you can't address it. You can't deal with it. You can't make it better if you're not letting yourself feel it. And I get it. I have been there. It's horrible. It's horrible. That doesn't mean that you can't do it. And you may need help to do it. Most people need help to do that. But the feeling itself, you're allowed to feel whatever you feel. And letting yourself do that. I mean, I tried for a long time to not think about what I was feeling. Because that's what seems easier. Because those feelings are very hard feelings to feel and to deal with. So it seems easier to try and not do that. But trying that did not make them go away. It did not make them better. Trying to not think about it did not help. And I didn't get better until I asked for help. And you can do that too. And hopefully you will be lucky enough to have a therapist as wonderful as mine is. I really, really hope that for you. And no matter what, it is possible for you to be okay.